Marcella is all packed up and ready to go. It is 6 a.m. in south central Kentucky right now. Here's your proof. See there, it's dark outside. It's a whopping 28 degrees out, so I'm headed south. For those of you that don't know, I am the one and only infamous Kentucky Yankee, without a doubt. It was 1 year ago that I set off to Florida and I said I would make it to the southernmost part of the state, Key West, and I did not. Now to expose my plan, I'm headed down to Griffin Lake. It's south of Ocala, about 30 miles or so, something like that. I'm going to stay there 2 nights, and the reason for that is because tonight I'm going to get there, it's going to be after dark, and I'm going to be tired. I got like an 11-hour ride today, nearly 700 miles. So I'm going to be wore out and tired. I thought sleep there, and then the next day just take the day to recoup, sleep there again, and then I'm going to head down to Key Largo, which is about, I think, 5 hours south. While I'm down in Key Largo, I'm going to explore the other Keys, Marathon. I hope to make it to Key West. This is my plan. Hopefully everything will go as it should. With any luck, this will be an epic journey and the best trip I've ever took in my entire life. And if it's not, I'll just pretend it was, like all the other YouTubers. Ha ha ha! Joke. Little jokey joke. First part of the trip over and done. It was about 11 hours and 700 miles. I am now at Lake Griffin Park and I camped here last night. This campsite is nearly perfect except for one major deal. Traffic. There's like a road somewhere back behind me and it is loud. Like sirens, guys doing burnouts, playing this booming bass. I mean, all this noise, it's pretty noisy here. Other than that, it's a beautiful spot. No plans today, just gonna find the best diner I can find for lunch, relax, get packed up, and ready for tomorrow morning's ride. Goodbye, Lake Griffin State Park. And now we're headed to Key Largo. Yesterday was just a wonderful day. I didn't have really anything to record because all I did was ride around exploring all day long. I mean, I used a whole tank of gas and stopped at a couple restaurants, so not much to see. The weather's been perfect. 82 degrees, full sun, just absolutely perfect. Only thing is, with weather like this, I'm slacking on my gear. Not wearing the proper gear that I should. I know I'm supposed to, I just haven't. It is nearly 9:30 a.m., in case you're wondering. Coffee, shower, bath, all that stuff took care of. Packed up, ready to rip, and looking forward to this day. I always get my Ethel at the Shell station because I get 5 cents off a gallon. Hey, now. It adds up. You can make fun of me if you want, but it adds up. Don't make fun of me. I have low self-esteem, please. Please don't make fun of me. I'll do what you gotta do. I'll get over it. Anyhow, I'm gonna fill up here, and I'll catch up with you folks probably when I get to Key Largo. There's a little path here at this campsite that leads out to this cool little area. This is neat. This is nice. I wish this was my campsite. Wait until you hear what I have to tell you. I gotta give you guys my raw first impressions. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you my raw first impressions. It's kind of funny. I keep giggling because I think it's funny. I stayed the night at John Penny Camp last night. That's where I am now. And on the way down here, it was like a 6-hour ride from Lake Griffin, which was a nice park. No complaints there except for the loud traffic. That's it. That's the only complaint I have. So I come down here. I'm having the best time, man, riding my motorcycle. The weather is so warm. It's so nice. Everything's nice. Then I get to John Penny Camp State Park. And I'm like, I pull up, and the little ranger, he's like, you ever camped with us before? I'm like, no. He's like, well, here are all the rules. Gives me his paper. Here's all the rules, and be out by 1. I was like, okay, dude, you know, okay, whatever, you know, kind of blew it off. Then I'm pulling in to this place, and there are like, I'm serious, there's probably like 10 police or law enforcement vehicles here. I'm like, what am I doing? Am I going into prison or a campsite? I mean, there's that much law enforcement when you pull in, and not that it's a big deal, but it just makes it seem kind of unfriendly. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do they need all this law enforcement here? Next, pull into my campsite, Site 30, which they're all the same, man. All these campsites are so tiny. This is the smallest, tiniest campsites I have ever stayed in the whole entire time I've been camping. I'm talking including car camping and stuff like that for over, 25 years. I looked at YouTube videos of the park. I always like to look at the sites where I'm going. And I thought they all said, oh yeah, they're a little close. No big deal, just a little close. No, no. These are not close. They're right on top of each other, man. I mean, right on top of each other. Upon pulling up into this campsite, I'm like, what is that smell? I'm like, what the is that smell? There's like this odor, this stink, man, and it's like sewage and perfume. So I didn't know what to think of it. I'm just like, sewage and perfume, okay. Anyways, I literally ended up sleeping in a Walmart toilet bowl that somebody had spilled dollar store perfume in. Oh my goodness. Got up bright and early to wash the stink off of me. Went in the shower bath, man. Turned the shower on. It's like, it's all messed up. There's like 3 little trickles coming out, and just, I mean, back to the campsite, made my coffee, looking around, and what it is there's like these vines climbing all over the place around the campsite, and they have flowers on them. So I'm assuming that's probably what the smell is. This is all just my very first impressions of this place and very first thoughts on what I'm seeing and smelling and feeling, and it kind of brought me down, man. From this trip, everything's been going great so far, and now this is like a big downer. I'm sharing all these thoughts with you because this is how you guys might feel too if you go on a trip, and I'm going to tough this out. This is my first night. I got 4 more nights at this place. 4, okay, count them. 4 nights more at this place. Keep in mind, when I arrived here, I'm already tired a little bit, so a big part of it, maybe not a big part, half is my imagination, but this is how I feel about this place, my very first impressions when I came here. And they may change, and I'm gonna keep you guys updated, but woo, this is interesting to say the least. This little place here is pretty cool though. Look at that. little fire pit, and you can walk around. They say not to have fires underground. He yelled at me about that. No fires underground. Don't be picking up deadwood. Get out of here at 1 o'clock. Hey, oh, whoa, Mr. Ranger, I'm sorry. Hey, listen, I'll be out of here at 1 o'clock. Give me a break. Hey, I'm not intimidated by no ranger. Come on, guys. Be a little more friendly. You know what I'm saying? I'm paying money to come here. Be a little more friendly.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
And that thing, I mean, it, and the stability and all that stuff on them now is crazy. You know, it's just, it's, yeah, it's something for the money. You know what I mean? They're not that high.
Well, you're not that much when you think about it, really.
Right.
Camera world, right? Yeah.
Talk about the campsite. I was overly dramatic on my first post, if you will, about the campsite, and I told you that, you know, some of it could be my imagination, whatever. Anyways, it being real close, I want to clear things up right now. It being real close, yes, I looked at as a downfall, but I ended up finding some real nice neighbors there, and that was cool. They're staying for a while too, and it's been really enjoyable talking to these folks. I didn't ever really think about it that way. You know, when you go camping, you kind of think that you would like to be alone, but it worked out good. So they are closer than I like, but I have nice neighbors, so cancels it out, right? And because I chatted with these neighbors, we talked about the stinkiness, and the stinkiness we determined, and I did have more time to do a little research. You know, my first thought was this is like poop and perfume, but it's not. What it is because we're in the mangroves, it's got this funk coming off the ocean. Plus, you know, it is kind of damp and like growth, like vegetation smell, and there is flowers blooming. We all agreed that that's what the smell was, and when they came here the first time, they thought the same thing I did. As far as the law enforcement, I've been here 2 nights, I think, and I haven't even seen them. Other than the vehicles, I haven't seen them. Do you want a piece of that?
Come on. No. Come on. Bye.
I think if you had a boat down here, it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know.
Neighbors down here that I met in Bahia. Been hanging out with them. Matter of fact, she went out on the circle boat with me today.
That is good. I ate way too much. There was too much meat, but it was good. But I couldn't resist this baked potato. It is delicious. My butter was melted down to like grease. I just spilled it on there. made it back home. This was a fun trip. Just because it's a different experience than what I was used to doesn't make it a bad experience. In the end, everything worked out great. I wouldn't change a thing about this trip. Took 1,067 miles to get back home, around 16 hours on the road. Drove straight through. I wouldn't recommend it. I was just trying to beat some rain. Total miles for this trip, right around 2,500. As always, after a trip, I get this thing all cleaned up, and I'm going to do a little maintenance. It's time for an oil change. With around 12,000 miles on her now, she's holding up good. Only thing I've done is change the tires. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you at the next adventure.